Good evening, friends. Good evening, dads. Good evening, moms. The very funniest thing tonight, I'm joined by Jericho Keito, and the other half of the show is not here, so I'm sitting in again. Welcome to your own show, Jericho Keito.
Thanks, Daisy. Good evening, dads and moms out there. Welcome to Heart with Dads. I'm Dedike Kokezo as introduced, and it's not my show, Daisy. We flying together on this one.
I hear you, Teddy. Yeah. I'm glad to see that last week the show or the topic kind of got you honoring your own appointments.
Yes, I got inspired by the show, and I had made a birthday gift promise to my son, and yeah, the very next day, I went out there and honored it. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's very happy. He's very happy.
And how has it been since then?
He's been wanting to drive his car ever since. Even now, it's about to rain, but hey, he wants his car.
Yo.
Where are my keys? Where are my keys? Yeah.
Ah.
And
Oh,
what about you? Did you see any form of inspiration from the show last week?
I think with me it has more been an issue of being conscious of 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 the promises that I make.
Mm.
Um, so I'm careful not to make promises I will not keep.
Mm-hmm.
Those that I've made, I've had to make sure that I keep them. So it's kind of like a very interesting challenge. So, like, it's a challenge worthy of taking up, I believe.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And I
That's
think
that's
it also leads, yeah. And I think it also leads us to what we're going to be talking about tonight. But before we do that, we have to acknowledge one of our own, Terry Bernard, with the arrival of his little one. Yeah, it's an exciting
yes,
time. Eh?
yes, yes, yes. Congrats, Daddy B. Yo, I'm jealous.
Ne?
Very cute, very cute. Yeah.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah. We just want to say congratulations to you, Terry Bernard. Yeah, I think he's a very interesting daddy. If you meet him on Twitter, you would think he's one fella, and then you get to know him in person. You get to know him as a dad, and he's an amazing guy. Eh?
Mm.
And that we also have him as part of our dads in the picture fold. That just makes a big difference. So we just wanted to acknowledge our own Daddy Bernard and say, hey, um, welcome to the little one, Ububuntle Sithole.
Welcome, B.
Yeah. I think now he has certain roles that he'll have to fulfill. And that's going to be another one. Part of that role is the sleepless nights, especially with the arrival of a little one. The endless nights when they're crying and doing all sorts of stuff, not only leaving it up to mommy, but just
Yes.
I think there's one thing that we have a misconception about, Daddy, and that is whenever there's a baby that has just arrived in the family, we think that we have to assist the mother,
Very true.
as though it's not our child.
Yeah.
Um, it's kind of like I'm not part of it. So hey, mommy, I'll come and assist, but don't expect me to be there.
Yes. I think it's what we've seen and grown up with. It's part of our upbringing to assume that as a dad, you are in the backseat. What is your role as our topic today? We tend to assume a role of assisting, as you said, only standing up when mommy can't, not doing it first, assuming that mommy is the one to be at the forefront when it comes to the young ones, and we are there to pick up anything that drops instead of lifting everything and letting her pick up what drops.
That's true. That's true. And I think that's one thing that needs to change. But I think it starts way even before the baby arrives. I think it starts the moment you know that you're pregnant. You are then there in the forefront. First appointment, and every appointment there are. Your role is to be there with her. Your role is not even it is to support during the pregnancy, but also to learn as much as you can, especially when it's your first time. Because the one thing as dads that we tend to do, we tend to say, okay, she's pregnant, she's gonna go to the gynae alone. I'll just get feedback from her. I don't have to suffer the inconvenience of work just to honor the appointment. I can easily cancel the appointment for work. I can easily cancel the appointment for other things, but not really for this. I can't cancel everything else for this. So I think our role have to change in such a manner that we move towards understanding that this is something we cannot compromise on, especially from that start going forward.
Yeah. And we miss out on so much in taking that back seat. I realized that when my son, we were pregnant with him, with all the trips to the appointments, as you're saying, and the scans and all those during pregnancy. I only became present then with our last, and it made me realize on what a journey it is, and what it is that we're really missing out on, and we need to take it to the next level and actually be there as you're explaining it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think another thing is there's something that I read, and maybe I'd like us to talk to. Something that I read.
Hey, good evening.
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Yeah, we lost the... No. Things are tough. We're losing loved ones left and right. But as long as we're still living, then
I'd say we're good. Kajeko re tlo bolela shem. Yo. Hey, welcome. Moms, welcome dads. Heart to Heart is on second season now. If you missed out, go back and watch. Yeah.
Season 2. So yes, sir. How are you, sir?
Keshafu.
100%. As you said already, Hore.
Yeah? Introduce yourself. Get season 2.
Yeah.
All
right, so guys, as Daddy Kwaketo mentioned, we are in season 2 officially. We just started. This is the first episode or the first session for season 2. I'd like to welcome everyone. And as I've mentioned to him, I know we're going through a pandemic, but I can just say, let's be strong. Let's support each other. And it's times like these where as umphakathi, this is where it's actually playing a big role, And with that being said, it brings us right to today's topic in terms of ukhulisa umntwana, in terms of ukuthanda umntwana. The question is parenting the dead way.
Yeah.
Right? Ho ba motswadi ka tsela that is today's topic, ladies and gentlemen. And by now, you know how the procedure goes. We open for your comments, and we will be sharing some of what the things that we have prepared for today's topic, including some of your comments.
Yeah.
Dedicate?
No, let me get fit lefoko leo. Welcome. We've been AWOL for a bit. But we're back. We're back. That's in the pictures here. We are doing daily things with our children. We are loving our children as the talk goes, the dad way. And it's not about not the mom way. It's just dad way. Yeah.
100%. Now,
Let's unpack
as you're saying, the dead way. Now, when I first thought about this topic, I was thinking about I'm raising two boys. So for me, it's different because I don't want to say it's different. For me, let me explain my approach. I'm raising my sons with that thing, yeah. Like my 2-year-old, I think by now he's realized when he falls, like, not to say I don't really show him care, but I stand back. When he falls, I remain neutral. He has to stand up. And only when he starts crying do I start pitching in. Now, the question could be that I heard one day one of my, the guys who lives in the same complex as me is saying, is that not abuse? You know what I'm saying? And that is one of the things that sparked this topic today. Is that not abuse the way Reza? And for me, it's the way I'm raising my child as a dad to him, specifically as a son, but the focus coming to me as a dad. So that's where the question comes in terms of, are we expected to love our children the same way that mothers do? And it's not a comparison. Don't focus on the comparison. We're trying to only focus on the bigger picture, which is parenting the dead way. Is there supposed to be a difference? What are we expected? Or the community itself, what does it expect? Dedicate.
Yo, there will be a difference. There will be a difference, and whether we like it or not, there will be a difference. Each one of us, male or female, renally experiences, you know, and those will channel us to focus, not necessarily focus, but they will guide us in how we will interact with one another. Being in discipline, in coaching, in happy moments, sad moments. We all have experiences sailing where we will draw from. If I can put it in that way.
It makes sense.
Yeah, like we'll have moments where you've experienced something in your life, and either your mom or your dad said something or did something, and then Luena, from that you will draw inspiration, and then you will try guide your child. Yeah. So I don't know. The dead way, maybe the parenting the parenting way.
I see you trying to run away from the main one. But anyway.
No, I'm not. I'm not running away. I'm just saying.
So with this topic, as I was discussing it at work, there were questions that started raising or raising eyebrows at work where I go, what does parenting the dead way mean to some of my colleagues? And to my surprise, I found people saying they don't know the difference because of, when you say experience, that's what just reminded me. They don't know the difference between how dads would love because of they never experienced love from our dads in the olden days. Does it make sense? And I
Okay.
think this is something that is almost common to a lot of people where Abu Baba back in the days, or our fathers who are from the past generations, showing love was from a distance. Showing love was from a paycheck only. You know what I'm saying? And that is why when I think we have to thank some, be appreciative of what the Western culture has taught us in terms
Mm.
of being more sensitive, being more approachable to our children. I mean, I don't know what my father would say if he saw me saying good night, I love you to my sons, and he raised me
But
well. I know he loved me, but I think
you
maybe
must
to
be
this day,
careful.
yes. And I think to this day, I think I've heard him say, I love you, maybe about 3 or 4 times, but I know he loved me, loved me, loved me, but he never said it. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm.
today we have learned and accustomed to being affectionate in terms of demonstrating or displaying our love for our children.
Yes.
Mm.
But we must be careful at the same
Mm-hmm.
time to not confuse what the system is doing.
Mm.
System being the economy. If I can shy away from speaking politics and
Mm-hmm.
what the economy is doing to us, it's pushing us into corners that um, we just become providers, and it pushed our fathers that route. That's
Mm-hmm.
why, that's why, Lynn, I can also say, I can count less than a handful of times where my dad said, I love you, my son.
Mm-hmm.
And without going into the politics of it, we must be careful. We must be careful of not thinking that
Mm-hmm.
they did not love us.
Hmm.
Our fathers did. Our mothers did love us. They still do.
Hmm. That
We
is
are
interesting.
in different times.
Mm.
I'll say again, economy, economics, and not politics. I'll shy away from politics. But yeah, they were pushed into a way of living, e leng hore e re file the way that we saw them.
That we saw them, no?
Does that make sense?
It definitely
Does
does
it make
make
sense?
sense.
Yeah.
Mm,
So,
mm,
so
mm.
now we are in a new era. We are in a new era, e leng hore it allows us to question the norm. You know?
Mm.
Bariling, petrol yan naman lagay.
Hey,
Let's question the norm. You know?
on the lighter side of things,
To be
petroleum,
able to get home and say to my kids, hey, kalerata lin.
No,
Tell you what,
100%. Teddy Koketso, you know what is interesting about today's topic and currently what is happening? I think I'm gonna bring something that touched the whole nation. The passing of our one of our great guys on the screen, the late Shona Ferguson.
yeah,
I don't think covering this topic and ignoring uh, the late Shona's character. I don't think
yes,
those two should be separated. And I'm saying this because, from my perspective as a married man, from my stance where I am looking at how things are going and what a man or a husband and a dad is supposed to be, or what I would wish every dad would be. And then I look
yeah,
at a person such as the late Shona. I promise you, besides the whole putting everything out to the public, like posting on social media, I
yeah.
think for me, like I'm saying, for me, he showed the parenting way or the parenting the dead way for me.
How would you say he did that?
So I've
I think
met the late Shona. I
criticizing.
think,
Um,
yeah, I think
I
I've met this.
honestly have no link as to how he lived his life
Mm-hmm,
personally.
mm-hmm.
And I can try to criticize. I'm just
No, 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 no.
asking, in a sense, to
100%. You
know.
should.
Like, I want to know.
You should. I mean, how many of our viewers currently out there are asking themselves, did it tell me so work at eight? So
Yeah,
basically, what I'm saying is, I've had the opportunity to meet the late Sean, I think about 3 or 4 times. And in all those four instances, when it comes to the family values, especially the idea of being a dad and around your children, his principles were always fascinating to me. And I think they inspired me to a certain degree in terms of being the dad I am today,
Wow.
and not only focusing on the husband, of which I think many people would know the husband side, the power
Yeah.
couple side, but the parenting side is another thing. And I promise you, there is no difference to how he approached parenting versus
Yeah.
how he approached his marriage and relationship. It was always supportive, number one, and prioritizing those people that he was supposed to prioritize being his children. And he did it his own way, regardless of what the society was expecting from him as a celebrity or a person who's in the public figure.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, I get what you mean. Na aga muminta. Ne?
Mm, 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 mm.
It's where perception is reality. The perception is like
Yes. No,
was bona.
Mm,
Ke sa ya mafokong a makima ke bolela o ithata mauntu and things like that. But this guy portrayed an image e leng hore it's exactly what you described.
mm.
Yeah. I have not met Shona, and but he gave me perception already. Look, motho ke ntate, ke monna wa mosadi, eh ke papa bana, and
Mhm.
it's important.
It's important.
I'll repeat it. Perception is reality.
Mhm. All right, wa bona ska ha o tjho jwalo ke nnete o inepile lenaka hloohong. Wa bona ska ha o re perception. I think we should not ignore the power of perception.
Yes,
We
it
should
is
not ignore
reality.
the power of perception, especially if you remember how I started. Remember, especially we have this thing community.
Uh-huh.
Now, I think that idea of the community, it will push the perception that we're pushing. Imagine yourself, Dedi Kweketso, if Bondade were around your circle of friends, your other co-dads, how about specifically focusing on daddy, not husband, daddy. You
Yeah.
prioritize your kids. You're not shy of showing affection to them, be it in public or not. You're not shy putting your arm around your daughters and saying, enjoy your day, daddy loves you. A kiss on the cheek, bye, high five, whatever you do as your wolf clang type of routines. Imagine doing that with pride. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
laughing in public when you're with your children, and being a friend when they need a friend, but remembering what I am your parent when that time is really needed. Imagine someone picking that up just from looking at you and your body language and how you interact with your kids, and they can, I don't want to say smell, but they can already pick up on that energy. That's perception. So from that stance, imagine then what it will do when it passes over to the next person, like a bee taking pollen from one flower to the next flower. And it's
Yeah.
only because of perception. I want to be like that. Doesn't know
Yeah.
why you're being like that. Doesn't
Yeah.
understand the true situation between you and your children. But I want to be like that.
You know, it's so amazing.
Mm,
Aware perception. How does your child fully know you? No, they don't.
I get you.
You know,
I don't think they do.
get me. Be it a girl or a boy child, they don't know you. They don't know you
Mm.
fully. And you always acting in the interest they are born.
Mm.
You know, you'll hold their hand, you'll guide them, hi Mella, you'll pick them up. If it's swimming class, you'll take them there. You could just be a person that just walks around and does nothing. But
You exist, but you're
as
not
a man,
present.
as a dad, you know, there has to be that perception. Oh, from how if even things, hey, this is sharp,
Mm, mm, mm.
your children can't know that. You know, We have to show them love and not let them be parents more, if that makes sense.
No,
Um,
completely. I understand you.
yeah, you have to parent them and keep them away from the problems and the troubles. They must be happy. They must tshwantse go nne le a good vibe ka mo ntlong, if that makes sense.
Now
Yes,
we've got
just
Mr. Bennett.
financially.
Not just financially, that's important. That's
Yeah.
important. All right, sorry, Dedikoketo. We've got Ndate Bennett Sitole coming through with a comment. Ari, parenting of a mom and a dad should not differ. Any girl child should be able to approach a dad, and a boy child should be able to approach a mom when they need any of the parent in the absence of the other.
Yeah, ne?
Yeah, and I think I agree with what he's saying, but this is where I take your role when it comes to this toilet. I want to take your role of being the devil's advocate. Mara, in addition, not to say I'm contradicting him. In addition to what he's saying, I think it's very true. Your children should trust Uguti. I can go to either mom or I can go to either dad. In terms of that aspect, parenting should not differ. But with that being said, from my stance, I don't know how to put it in a way of saying there will always be a difference. That's me. I say there will always be a difference.
There will have to be.
Mm.
There will have to be. Sure, unless if you married your twin, or if you
Now,
even
in terms
twins
of
experience life differently. Story deity.
Mm.
Our lives, dear channel.
Mm.
I was having a chat. We went fishing over the weekend, Dedi Kiwa, and our families. We both came with our wives and our children. And then we got into a topic, and the likes. And I was saying, look, I'm not saying this view is correct or 100%, but how is someone expected to be impartial?
Okay.
You're gonna be hijacked, Mokoni. Bear with me. I know the topic is parenting the dead way. And then we are talking about mommy and daddy being different parents. But bear with me. How are we gonna be impartial if I get hijacked, Mokoni Lingamla, for example, and then the next day, very next day, ke bona Lingamla go koto, I'm the judge. There's no way I can be impartial. Ke try go bontsha taba ya gore our lives and our experiences they build our characters are in. Ne?
Okay.
Marry your twin. Marry your twin. Same thing. You will be different parents. Mommy, daddy will be different parents.
Okay.
So yes, in that sense, there's no way mo e leng gore re ka nna le the same views and bana ba rena ba tlhoka both views. And it's important to you. Okay?
I think you just brought a better clarity for that statement saying to this tole it should be either way when a
Hey,
child. Yes, I think you made me understand deeper or what does he mean when it comes to that communication part. For example, like you saying, I can trust mommy or I can trust daddy with regards to 1, 2, and 3, and then at the same time appreciating and emphasizing the fact that will always have different views.
yes. And in life, you need those different views. Ikobolle character ya hao. You need those different views. Yes,
And
there is the right thing and the wrong thing.
yes,
But views, swanzi udibone, different.
And I think from what you're saying, Hore, there will always be different views. I think as a dad, this is where also the challenge of understanding Hore, things have changed. It's no longer like in the past, mo e leng hore papa ha re so, o so. Nowadays, we communicate. We see who re kopana ho kae, what works for the team, being their
Yes.
family. So I think from that instance, mo e leng hore we've got different views. But ngwana o tla o nna, papa, can I go to this camp? Mama, can I go to this camp? Mama ore, yeah, but then papa yena shebile di-finances wa shorta ka tlung, a ba re no. Ha ya tlameha hore e felle fela mono, e be ba no. O dula le mama, ha re shebisane, ngwana o batla camping e tlo mo benefita kae? What can we do to compromise and come up with the funds maybe? Ke eng e re tla e behella morao hore a kgone ho ya mole, and then they work together as a team. Let's not send him to this camp, but the next one we make sure re mbehela tjhelete. Then they come to an agreement. I think those are the differences I want. And also, while speaking about the differences, you mentioned something, Daddy Koket. You said it's the past experiences that will sort of shape how we parent, either as mom or as dad. Emphasis being on dad.
Yeah.
If you look at Harohola, I don't know if it's stereotype, if I can use that word, but
Yeah.
and what does it call upon? It calls upon affection from them. You know what I'm saying? So they are sort of shaped and groomed with this warm, passionate sense of caring and loving. And then it comes to a stage where now we have children. With my partner or my wife, we have children. I think she's more prone, and I shouldn't use that word because it could be saying I'm being subjective. She is more prone to show affection than I am. You understand what I'm saying? I could be the support structure. Yes. Alimunya. I could be the support structure or the super glue of the skeleton, but the warmth, the meat on the skeleton, I believe my partner.
Yo. How
does it make sense?
Yes, it does. How do we dismantle that yo, why gets away like a little fool? That emotion. That way, women are supposed to be the caregivers. We are parenting as well as dads. We're doing it the dad way. I remember there was a time growing up when dad got home, nearly we were kamori. Like, what's get ready. He wants to watch the news and stuff. But he changed that later on. Thank God he did. And I got into a relationship later, I don't know. There's probably dads out there, moms out there that don't have that relationship. They still go through that now.
Let me quickly take it from I don't know if you have any nostalgic memories on the past. Yeah, no, I understand now. While you're talking about how hopola and how like Khale o ne o sa tshwane le hona jwale dintho ne di fapane nyana ho le mane kere. So now I got a question mtsiare e leng hore ka tla re be tafoleng re ke re bone re hlahlola jwang. The question was, do we think, or is there a possibility where social media actually is playing a part in shaping and changing the way we do parenting as dads?
Definitely.
And if not, why we say so? And if yes, why we say so?
Definitely. Definitely. Social media has a lot of influence on not just parenting as dads or moms, but how we live our life.
Everything,
Everything. Like
yeah.
our lives, the Nkanori born. Okay, I try my best to not follow. I try my best, but yeah. My children are on social media. My wife is on social media. You are on social media. Daddy Z, shout out. You on social media. But yes, and be directly or indirectly, the decisions that I make, the social media, be it coming from you, the DT, coming from me, myself, influencing you with the choices I make, from my children, the choices they make, or the toy that they want to buy, ke ba rekela yona. Social media will always affect. We can't run away from it. It will
100%.
always be there. Yes, we
And
must
it's
just
part of our
limit
lives.
the influence. We must just
Mm,
limit the influence and try applying quality to our lives instead of going with the wind and direction air. I don't know if
mm.
that makes sense. Didi. Um,
Completely. That makes sense.
yes, yes.
Mm,
The influence will be there, but let's if the influence and into flowing from the influence makes sense, do it.
mm. No, definitely.
But quality first.
Yeah. Or it's really meet.
Yes.
100%. I think
Yeah.
also hard
You,
worker.
you
No. I'm with you.
you asked the question. I'm asking you to answer it as well.
Oh, you're not getting both.
Yes.
How does social media affect parenting
Yes.
styles?
If it
All
does
right.
affect you, how? If not,
Oh,
why not?
all right. So I'm going to start with the answer. I say yes as well. It does affect. And to elaborate on why I say so, truth be told, as you said, social media is amidst everyone's lives right now. Whether you are on social media or not, social media will have a direct or indirect effect on everyone's lives. So,
Okay.
in terms of the exposure now to social media, I think, as you said, this is where either we limit it or we channel ourselves to the positiveness of social media or the positiveness of what are we getting from the exposure of social media. You and I, the first time we met, Nerele Camp on Lebana, but before I went on that camp where I met you, where I became part of Dads in the Picture, I saw on Facebook Sam Kemp, more Montate Ankileng, his 4 children, 2 daughters, 2 boys. They went in the wilderness. They spent a single night. It was fun. And I
Wow.
realized there's this urge from that day I saw that video or that clip. Something was itching, Kerry. No matter what, I am going to go on camp with my son. At that time, I had 1 child. Tell you what, Koketo, when I decided that, I went to purchase body fishing rods. Don't know anything about fishing, never been camping anywhere with my son. But I went, I purchased them. Kita and Gaban actually till today. But how many camps have? It's not about that. Don't
I'm
phone whenever
open
you
to
are a selective
donations.
listener. You only had the part where I haven't used them. Don't be
Yes.
like that.
Did you not see me clapping my hands?
I saw you. I saw you. So, with that being said, I say yes, it does affect how we parent. You know what I'm saying? It
Wow.
created something in me. And the day I went to the first camp with my son, a new dad came out.
Mm.
A new dad was born in me. One child. I was able to see my child in a different way. Ke nna le ena fela weekend-eng eo. Ha re na
Yeah.
founu. That's one rule. Re beela kwana phone only when we talk to
Oh.
mommy and do a video call, or this is what we're doing. Other than
Yeah.
that, Kinale, my son, I understand him for who he is.
Wow. That's the
And
dad way. That's
that has yes, and that has shown me to not only appreciate my son or my children, but to go back to that seed of Hudisa Mwana, Honka Mpagat. If you remember when we are on our camps, you as Daddy Kwaketo, you're gonna be in charge of the food, and there will be other children around you. Then
yes.
I'll be in charge of, let's say, for example, sports and recreational activities. And that has taught me as a dad to appreciate and show my love evenly across the board.
Now imagine what our parents or our dads had to deal with. Again, no politics, economy.
Economy, ne?
Yeah. Imagine what
And
they had to deal with.
mm,
And okay, one part being us, they had to deal with us. Which, so back to the topic. You were speaking on it now. How
mm,
do you love the dead way? What would you say is loving the dead way
according to me,
according to you?
from my
It's
stance, I
different
would
for
say,
everyone. It's
uh,
different for everyone. There's no
it's
correct answer.
completely it is completely different for everyone, truth be told. So, from my stance, when you ask me that question, I would say the one word that would sum up the way I've chosen to deliver my parenting is affectionate. You know, as much as I know one could say it's contradictory of what I said earlier on that "Hangwanaka wa moshimane wa ile," I look at him and basically enforce that thing here. When you fall, pick yourself up. But
Yeah.
believe you me, when you spend a weekend with me, you will see that I am more on the affectionate approach, where I understand Hore, I have boys, and it's not soft for your boys. No, it's a matter of I'm teaching them care. I'm teaching them how to care, I'm teaching them how to express yourself and your emotions. I mean, we as men were always cocooned by the idea ukuthi indoda ayikhali, monna halle. No, that is wrong. So by me showing them my true affections and saying it to them, I'm teaching them how to fully express their feelings. Tomorrow in the workplace, they will need to express how they feel. Do they know how to, or do they suppress how they're feeling because mutwanta they saw and mutwanta they saw? So that's
Yeah.
the approach as a dad that I'm currently practicing with my children. Affectionate, being there for them. My son told me something yesterday. One of my friends told this. He went to the security guards. They say I'm lying. I looked at him and I said, I believe you. I just thought maybe let me just say I believe you. You know what he said? Thank you, Papa. That is
Yeah.
everything I need to hear. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So again, goes back to affection from my side. I don't know
Yeah.
if I answered your
No,
question.
Ongarabili. And you explained very well your approach.
Mm, mm, mm.
The tough love, o bolelang ka yone gore ngwana ao wa
Mm.
motho I struggle with that. I don't know. There might be other moms that my child.
Wait. Can I ask you a question? Can I interject?
Okay.
Are you struggling it? Do you think that could be it?
No. Both. I have two daughters. I
Mm.
have a
And
son,
yes.
and
Like
hello,
how
we're expecting one.
eh,
But yeah. So with all of them, don't clap. with,
congratulations. Oh.
with 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 all of them, man, this tough love thing, I can't. If my son falls, I'll pick him up. If he
Mm,
cries, I'll wipe his tears. Um, I don't know. Maybe we can offer soft life, as people would put it. But I don't think they need to, for a lack of a better word, struggle
mm.
while I'm there. If I could, I'd mute the pain, if I can put it that way. I give you one.
Kyautol.
Yeah.
So
If
based
I
on what
can
you're saying,
still take care of it, then I can remove it.
mm, based on
When
what you're
I'm no
saying, are
longer
you
there,
saying
then they can know what pain is, not while I'm there.
not while you're there? All right. Can I ask you a question? So are you
Yeah.
basically saying when you prefer to be different instead of too, I don't want to say soft. Are you saying you want to be slightly different from how you're approaching it now?
It is something I'm looking into. It is
Mm-hmm.
something that I want to do, but that's why it's a personal thing. I feel while I'm there.
Mm-hmm. I think
Someone
from
might
what you
feel
made,
so that they
mm-hmm,
learn from. I feel why. You know,
Mm.
if I can shield them from it, why can't I feel?
That is very important. I think from your stance, that is your, like you've mentioned, that is Daddy Koketo's approach to parenting the dead way. And I
The
give you
dead
10
way.
out of 10. I give you 10 out of 10. It's
I,
how
gi- I
you
give you
approach it. Yeah?
I give you 0 out of 10.
You give me 0.
I'm kidding. Also a 10 out of 10. It's a personal thing, a choice that we make.
Mm,
Approach each parent makes, be it a mom or a dad.
mm, mm,
And yeah, you are there. You are parenting your children. That's a 10 out of
mm,
10. That's from that, you know?
mm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Daddy Z is asking something there. Daddy Z is saying, can we show our love in our absence? I think it was sparked from what I explained as saying when I'm there,
Mm.
they shouldn't experience pain, which is my children. So in my absence, they will experience pain. And can I
Mm-hmm.
show my love in my absence?
No, definitely understand. Can we show our love in our absence? Um, Thank you for that one, Daddy Kwaketo. I think there is this question here from what I was doing today. As mentioned earlier on, I was really touched by the passing of Ndate Shona Ferguson to a point where today, basically, 20% of my day went to me planning for things like my life insurance. I contacted my broker when it comes to my will. Why am I all of a sudden doing these things? I think when I read your question, the answer that comes is my actions Sakajeko. How am I showing my love in my absence? Making sure, Hore, even when I pass away, the pain making sure Hore, they still don't go and face that pain, even in his absence. What can I do now to make
Hmm.
sure they are taken care of and they are protected at least from certain hardships and pains? That is, according to me, how you show your love in your absence. There you go,
Yeah,
get.
yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be open here. I was a smoker. Can I
Yeah.
2 weeks with immediate effect? I decided to stop. Can I 2 weeks stop below 2? Why
Cool
did I
take
do
it.
that? Cold turkey. I went cold turkey because I figured on a month if I spend about 400 rands on smokes, why not take that 400 king increase your life cover? And that's what I did. I doubled my life cover. Why?
Hmm.
When I pass away, will my wife right now in this economy, not the politics, the economy that you've been mentioning, will she survive by herself? I looked at everything, the calculations, the payment, the debits, she won't. Now, how am I going to make sure her I take care of these two in my absence? Right, boy?
Hmm. Hmm.
And then here's another comment that came through. It says here, pain is
Impetha ka mo pelong eo. Impetha ka mo
eh?
pelong. Impetha ka mo pelong.
I think that's me saying, how do I show love in my
Oh.
absence? I still take care of them, Kilisiko. Imagine 20 years from now, my children are successful, everything, not to say easy life here. Hardships, challenges, they are I don't think life is 90 challenge is fun at all. I don't wish that upon anyone. Life is so tebelela. So what I'm saying is, if I can remove just a few plaques of pain and hardship, if I can, I would rather go and do that for them.
All of it. Not just a few plugs. All the pain.
Like I want to protect her from boyfriend him hetile or girlfriend him hetile. So yeah. One to like a mo kgonang, one to like
Yeah, I get that. And
a
you point out that, yeah, the thing, yeah, like you can't protect them in your absence. Ne? When you are not there, there. So yes, I agree that they need to feel pain so
Okay,
that they
I
know
see.
how to weather that storm when you're not there.
Mm.
And there is happy no. We need to coach our children through the pain. Not protect them from it, but coach them through the pain.
Through the pain, 100%. Kai, that might be a difficult one for you. Kai wabona, or this situation, it might hurt a bit. Mara, because I can monitor and keep my eye, let me just step back a bit, but always ready to dive in when I need to. Or mkrela imore shasha, anyane fele mo ta, bamu hurde. And then ubofika ore, let me
But where is the
assist.
line?
Eh?
Where is that line?
The line, let's not say this is the line, but I'm saying as a
Yeah.
parent, you will know. You will
So
know as a parent already.
let's say my line here exists, but it's tolerance I think good as it.
Korea,
Now, yeah, guys,
Now, Deriko Keto, we've got a comment coming through saying, no matter how much we try, we can never protect our children through pain, or let's rather say to protect them from pain, no matter how much we try. Like we said, there's certain elements of pain that they will have to enjoy as part of life. Things like rejection, it's part of life. They need to learn how to deal with that. We just need to channel and choose the right ways that they're going to learn rejection and things like being second place and not having things your own way. For example, Dediko Keto, the importance of sports. It teaches children competitiveness. It teaches children hard work will pay one day, but it also teaches children no matter how much you try, it's not guaranteed or you will have first place. What all? No matter how much you try and put in all the effort, let's say for the workplace, by sports, they learn hore. Sometimes there will always be another person who can come first.
someone
And
will
how do I learn from that? Right all?
No, it makes sense. That sort of pain, the emotional kind, I think I can bear with it. It's the physical one that I don't want my children's or anyone's child to experience. If I'm still around, my child shouldn't be facing physical pain. Emotionally, it's once a yes. Spana sa sikri a faile subject niya ni wano ko school ngi. Ba mo shiye, as we were saying in sport. As a winner 100 meters. Ba mo shiye, ba mo fite ka long jump. As we watching the Olympics now. Things like that. But physically, Shem, there is no utaba shabu mo. You only have one body, Teddy.
All right. And then in closure, we hear or what to hear. Sometimes we need to let our children fall and learn how to get up. Mothers tend to protect children from falling while dads help them up and teach them to move forward despite the pain. I think in this case, except for Deriko Keto. But
Yes.
I will not bear the pain and the whiplash from him for saying that. Deriko Keto, is there any questions maybe before we close up that you might have regarding the topic? Any closing advice that you might give regarding parenting the dead way for our viewers?
I'll give one. Moms, dads. It's specifically for dads. Since it's parenting the dead way, but moms can also do it. No mom can replace a dad. And no dad can replace a mom. It's not about moms. It's not about the dad. It's about parenting the dad way. We've been conditions. We've been conditioned. Excuse me. To live a certain lifestyle. From our childhood, as you were saying, Tabiso, daughters were giving dolls, boys were giving cars. Nereza dikoloi tsa diterata, you know. But that has to go out the window now. You know, we need to up our game. You know, as that it's not about not moms. It's not about not dads. This is loving the dead way. Raising your child the dead way. You know, love your children. Show them that fathers love. Show them that fathers can play with you. Fathers are your friends. of course, there's boundaries, but love the dead way. Like, love it.
No, that's definitely true. That's definitely. I would say I'm laughing at the trueness of what you're saying. Zachigizinto, times have changed. That's hold up.
180 papa.
It's a full 180. I can say the fact that previously as if you are providing for your family, done. What all that was previously. But nowadays things have changed. Dads cook, dads go to the event Libana, dads will play with kids.
Yeah.
Let me stop there. Things have changed. One get on with the program. Then we got one last comment coming through. It's a whole Tabo Mojapelo Ardumelang Bagolo. We are equal parents in this parenthood. Well, we are equally parents in this parenthood. That is definitely true. From my side to all our viewers today, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the topic and the idea of parenting the dead way, I'm basically just going to say, do what works for you. Do not be shy to engage and hear and learn from what other people are basically doing. There might be one or two things that you will learn and gain from outside. Always try to approach life as a glass that is half full. Always be willing to learn, not only willing to learn from other parents, but also from your kids or your children, rather. Listen to them, hear them out. All right. And speaking of the whole thing, learning from each other as parents. Here we are, dads in the picture. You know, there's many other groups out there that can assist when it comes to that. Follow Dads in the Picture. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we are on all platforms, Twitter, and we are also on Instagram at Dads in the Pic. This is where we are all engaging. We are all in this, I don't want to say the struggle, we are all on this journey together, you know, so let's all learn. I mean,
politics is gonna struggle. By the way, there's the picture.co.za.
100%. Now I'm going to put you guys under pressure. Next time when we come back, we need to see and have a date for our viewers in terms of the next camp. I'm putting pressure on you. Let's maximize. Let's bring our viewers together. Let's see what we can do. All right. So I'm putting that pressure and the responsibility on you.
No, you decide on the day and camp.
Next time when we come back, I will definitely put a date, or rather, let's not wait for the next time we come because we're coming in 2 weeks. It might be way too far for now. Who's very eager. So if you follow us on our social media, guaranteed you will find access to such information. When is our next camp? And not only that, you will have access to a whole lot of information, our calendar, what activities are we doing, have a look at our history, what have we done, and what Dads in the Picture is all about. And on that note, it's lovely seeing you again, and thank you for being with me on season 2, episode 1. It was, again, an explosive one, and I can already imagine what's going to happen for the rest of season 2.
This is gonna be an awesome one. If only one could say bakely bake, but 2 weeks, 2 weeks, you know.
Fortnight. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we thank you very much. On that note, we thank you very much. We will definitely see you the next time when it comes to episode 20. Cheers, my friend. Have a lovely evening and stay safe.
Enjoy yours.